Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I am reviewing the UDES 16. This is a tank that I played when I first unlocked it to work up the chain, but haven't done a lot with since. So took it back out today, try and get that ace on it that I was never able to get before, and I end up with a very interesting game. Himmelsdorf, and I'm the only tier 9 on my team. There are, I believe, 2 tier 9s on the red team. So we'll see how this plays out. I figure I'm in for a dollar, or I'm in for a diamond, in for a dollar. So I give it my best shot. Now, as I start the battle here, I immediately think, okay, this thing's forte is hold down. Best place to do that is up on top of the hill. So I make a beeline for that, and I happen to notice that there's a 3-man platoon of guys from Nightmare and Koala who I know are good players, so I figure, all right, if I ride shotgun with them, that's going to both give them some staying power because I'm not an autoloader, and it'll give me some protection as well by virtue of the threat of their burst damage. Now I'm surprised to find that we get up there so fast that the other team is below the other edge. I'm kind of hesitant moving up because I'm expecting them to crest that ridge at any time, but they don't. And I realize the bat chats have got them scared, so I go ahead and continue on. I'm going to go ahead and make a hold down from the top here, and you'll see how that works out. Now, those who don't know this tank, the gun is a 390 Alpha, and it has 230 something pen with the standard round, 264 I believe it is with the premium round, and I got it loaded pretty much all premium because I'm hunting for the ace. So I start putting that to work, and with that kind of penetration, I can penetrate pretty reliably most tier 10s as long as I aim my shots. There's a couple that will bounce definitely in this fight because I rush it, or the movement in action, the shot doesn't go where I want it to. For those who don't know, the suspension on the UDES allows for some I believe it's up to 12 degrees of gun depression forward. It does have a couple of interesting little aspects to it, though. It's only over the nose that you get that extra depression, not over the side. Now, the armor on it is good enough that it will pretty much auto bounce anything that shoots the upper glacis or the turret, unless it's I think it's 136 millimeters or larger. The right side of the turret face is only 35 millimeters in spots, 40 millimeters in a couple other spots, and so if you're facing something with 140 or 150 millimeter gun, they can overmatch you there, so you got to be careful of that. As you can see here, just working them over one shot at a time. Don't have super high DPM, and this is right about 2,000. But it's enough to get the job done as long as the battle stays controlled. Now you can see that here I finish off the T-57, which gets the burst damage DPM out of the enemy team, and then I go for the cupola here on the E4. You'll notice how my chassis was bouncing before that shot. That's one of the little artifacts of the suspension system, and it wasn't affecting my aim because I wasn't at the limits of my depression or elevation, but there are times when it will cause your reticle to bounce if you're right at the limit. Here, the smoke is making it really hard for me to find my target, and so I just ended up wasting a shot. I decided that it's kind of busy right here, so I'm going to go around the block. I see a waffle, but I see he's not shooting, and I don't get around quick enough to get a shot in on him. So I keep on pressing, looking for another opportunity. And I'm salivating right here because I can see he's a one shot, but I don't get a shot off on time. That was disappointing. A lot of driving for a whole lot of nothing. Now here, I start to kind of make my first mistake here. There's enough enemies and heavies down that road there that I play wrong. This tank isn't set up to go nose to nose in that kind of situation. Start out okay, get my shot in on the Conqueror, but I make the mistake of going back, and this is another case where the smoke obscures. You can't really see from this angle, but in the sniper mode, that smoke coming off the building there really made it hard to see that Conqueror. and so I wasn't able to get a shot in there. I ended up taking too much damage from him without being able to get any retribution. That was just a bad trade. Go around this corner, try and get that Progetto, but he just can't get it aimed in time. Bounces off his upper glacis. So I decide I'm not going to go out that way again. He knows I'm there. And everybody knows that they can shoot me in the lower plate. Get out of the way of the bat chat here. Finally see one of the tier 9s, get a shot into him. And I know that I can penetrate him if I get the lower hull. Upper hull is iffy. So I get around, I think I've got the reload on him, and I miss the shot. It goes a little bit high, not able to get the kill. Come back for another shot, and he dies before I can get it off. That's one of the bad things about being a tier 9 in a tier 10 battle, is tier 10s all have much better DPM. Now it's 2 on 2. There's a mouse that looks like it would take 2, possibly 3 shots to finish off. And there's that Progetto that I know is just on a sliver. Now that it's just me, I figure let's try and work this guy off. Get a bounce there, which is nice, but he bounces as well. I just kind of juke and jive here a little bit, make him rush his shots, and I get lucky on the RNG. Now I'm ready to shoot, and I get a shot right there as he passes between the rocks and the dead tank. Now I don't want to go face that mouse one-on-one with only 11 hit points left. He can just HE me. So I decided to get a little range, get a little vision. The crew on this has camo and silent driving. So even in Himmelsdorf, there's a chance that I'll be able to get enough range to not be detected. I wasn't going to take him there because he was looking my way. So I head over here, wait for my sixth sense to drop. And then I try to second guess where he's going to go. First I'm thinking, okay, maybe he might come around the block this way, so wait for it. I don't see him yet though, so I decide, nope, he's not going that way. Head back the other way. I know there's a risk as soon as I come out here, so I kind of just feather it. I want to just kind of poke enough to spot or get detected and see I don't get detected, so I figure it's safe. So I'm like, okay, he probably went to the right or fell back to the very back street. I'm not exactly sure though, so I'm going to play that he's around the corner to the left. He's not. He's backed up to the right. Fortunately, he's not quick enough aiming to be able to get a shot off at me. So I get away with the gamble. Now here I back up, not because I want to shoot him. I can tell his position's wrong, but this allows me to see him, so I can see exactly where he's setting up. So now that sixth senses drop, go, get a little distance, and see if I can use that camo to spot around that corner, see if he's still in that position. If he is, I might be able to get a shot off. I know I can pen his turret face if the shot goes where I want it to. So again, I'm just waiting to see if I get detected. Don't want to overcommit. I don't, but I don't spot him either. So, math, I figure he's either gone one way or the other down the 8 line. Friend on the team helping me out there. We don't know for sure that's where he is, but I suspect there's a decent chance that's where he is. I'm a little worried he'll be on the other side though, so I'm just going to do a quick drive-by, and I don't see him. That tells me he didn't go down the 8 line because he's not fast enough. So I know he's over there on the A line now, so I'm going to go all the way up. Again, I'm trying to get as much distance as I can to see if I can let my camo work to my advantage. Give him some time to head back towards where he's been hiding most of the game. And sure enough, there he is. And I'm not detected. This is exactly the situation I was hoping for. He shows me his side because he doesn't know where he's spotted from. I get 1 pin. So I didn't see exactly how much damage that did, but I'm guessing that I have to get 2 more pins into him. There we go. He just shot. Now that he's shot, I can back up safely, but he is hiding. So I kind of move all the way back so I'm not in the same position I was before and just wait for him. He shows himself. He's angled better, but his turret's facing me, so I wait for him to stop. wait for him to fire, take my shot. It does not go where I want it to, so I've got to reposition. At this point, I think, okay, we can either do the stalemate there, he'll eventually get lucky and find me, or I can roll the dice, get in close, get under his gun, and flank him. But I gotta be really careful. I only got 11 hit points, and that's a mouse. If he fender rubs me, I'm dead. So I want to get close to him, but not too close. Yep, sure enough, I get around the corner, but I get ahead of his gun enough that when he does shoot me, he can only get down to my turret. He can't get inside of my hole, but my first shot bounces. This is going to be really careful not to touch him. I'm really worried here that he's going to start pivoting. He doesn't pivot. So I'm able to get a shot into him. He bounces another one off my turret face, and that gives me everything I need to do. All he had to do was turn his tank, and he would have been able to kill me by rubbing up against me. So what's my overall impression of this tank? I actually think it's really good. The gun is fairly consistent, although not the best in the tier. The armor is great for a tier 9, as long as you keep the hull covered and don't side screw. So enjoy it, get used to the suspension, and you'll have some great games.